What is up, guys? It's Alex the Magician here, back for another Heroes 3 tier list video. And in this one, we're finishing up the upgrades tier list with the tier 7 units. So once again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I do feel like this one is the most interesting with a lot of potential to rank things differently. And I was actually, when I was creating this ranking, I was going back and forth and changing the positions of a lot of these units. So I do feel like there can be very different opinions out there. So very curious to hear what you guys think and if you agree or disagree and why. And as always, feel free to check out my Twitch stream. Link is in the description below if you want to see more Heroes 3 content in English in real time, where I play actual PvP games multiple times a day, and you guys can see me freak out when I lose or get unlucky, or when people in chat troll me. So, alright, so let's just get into this. At the very bottom, I'm going to rank the Chaos Hydra. So, as far as the Chaos Hydra go, I feel like it's really the most underwhelming of the tier 7 upgrades. It's just not that much of an improvement, and this could be way below all of the other ones. You know, if I could make this like F tier or like Z tier or something like that, I would. But honestly, the improvement is just kind of mediocre. They gain 75 health, which is nice, of course, but when we compare that to some of the other improvements, it is not that much of an improvement. And they gain 2 attack and 2 defense, which is also not that big of an improvement when we compare it to other tier 7s. And they gain only 2 speed, so they're speed 7. So the thing is, they're still going to be really slow. And as far as an upgraded tier 7 unit goes, it is still pretty slow to have speed 7, so it's not going to help you outspeed, you know, like dragons or angels, or you know, get the first move on your opponent or something like that. And likely you'll still need like haste or teleport to close the gap with these in a final fight against your opponent. It is nice to have the added HP, which does make them more tanky in Utopias, and you know, it is decent. But overall, if you go for these as Fortress, if you go for Hydras as Fortress, I feel like this upgrade is almost not worth the money, because the improvement is just kind of mediocre. They don't gain any additional abilities, so overall, I feel like this is the bottom tier. Okay, next I'm going to rank the Bone Dragons, or the Ghost Dragons, and the Archdevils. So let me talk about the Archdevils first. The reason that I have these kind of low is because I feel like most of the abilities of the regular devils are still there. So they still have no retaliation, and they can teleport, and the regular devils give -1 luck, the upgraded ones give -2 luck in Horn of the Abyss. So that's really the only improvement in terms of the abilities. They do gain +7 to attack and defense, which is nice, but then the health improvement is only 40. So the regular devils have 160 health, and these guys have 200 health. So I feel like those improvements are kind of marginal, and they do gain a lot more speed. They gain 6 speed, which is nice. It makes them really tough units to outspeed. So if you can get these as Inferno, it will, you know, almost guarantee you the initiative and the first move in a fight. But overall, yeah, you know, because I feel like the improvement in terms of HP and in terms of the abilities is kind of mediocre, I think that they should be down here. Alright, and as far as the Bone Dragons go, once again, the improvement in terms of stats and HP is pretty mediocre, and that's the reason why I have them as low as this. So they only gain +2 attack and defense, and only 50 health. So the regular ones have 150 health, these have 200. The speed improvement is nice. They do get speed 14 from speed 9, and they do also give the aging ability to, well, they get the aging ability when you upgrade them, 20% chance to age your enemies, which cuts their HP in half, which is nice, but once again, it's an ability that you have to depend on, so not that amazing. The main reason to upgrade them is really the speed advantage, which is cool, but again, when we talk about all the other upgrades, if you ever do happen to go for Bone Dragons as Necro, sure, upgrading them is nice, but, you know, I would say mostly for the speed. Okay, next I'm gonna rank the Haspid and the Gold Dragon. So this is another one that I actually wanted to rank a little bit higher, but then when I started thinking about it, I decided to rank them a little bit lower. But these upgrades are good. So let's talk about the Gold Dragon first. So the Gold Dragon improvement is, really good speed, so +6 to their speed. Good improvement in terms of stats, +9 to attack and defense, and they are also immune to level 1 through 4 spells, whereas the green dragons are immune to 1 through 3. So this gives the option to do some sort of Armageddon strategies, utilize Chain Lightning. You don't have to worry about Berserk or something like that. Of course, your opponent can still implode them, but overall, these are a really good upgrade. I feel like if you do go for dragons as Rampart, I think you really want to get the Gold Dragon upgrade because the green dragons are just not that great, I would say. All right, and as far as the Haspids go, so the Haspids upgrade is really good. It gives an improvement of 120 health and 7 attack and 4 defense. So the improvement in terms of stats, somewhat marginal, I guess. The health is good because it gives them the highest health in the game. As far as the upgraded tier 7 units go. Oh, and I forgot to mention the improvement in health for gold dragons. It's 250, so it's +70 health. So not that amazing of an improvement in terms of health for gold dragons. But the sea serpents, so they do gain the highest health in the game, the highest upgraded tier 7. And actually, it is a unit that in a one-on-one fight beats every other upgraded tier 7. So it's the strongest in a one-on-one fight. The disadvantage, of course, is that it's not flying, and they do gain +3 speed. So 2 Hex Speed 12 unit can close the gap in 1 turn. And it also gains the revenge ability, which is pretty ridiculous. It basically means that this Haspid retaliates as, even if your opponent kills a certain number of them, the retaliation that they will suffer is going to be just about as strong as if the stack hasn't lost any units. So there is like a weird formula for it, but the problem with the upgrade, I feel like, and why I think they're lower than the gold dragons is because that ability is not really going to be useful against a human opponent because he will likely know the ability and utilize 1 stacks to actually take retaliation first so that he doesn't have to suffer that retaliation with that revenge ability. So for that reason, I feel like they're a little bit worse than the gold dragons. Okay, next I'm going to rank the ancient behemoths. I feel like this is a really, really big improvement. Potentially could have even been higher, but I just really like the units that are going to be higher than these. So the improvement from the regular behemoths is pretty big. So they only gain +2 to attack and defense, but they gain 140 health, giving them 300 health, which is once again the highest health that an upgraded tier 7 unit can have, and speed 9, so +3 speed to these. But the real kicker is that it increases their ability by a factor of 2. So the regular behemoths ignore 40% of the opponent's defense. These guys ignore 80%. So that makes them really scary to get hit by. So I feel like this is a really amazing improvement. And if you do go for behemoths as Stronghold, you really want to get the ancient behemoths upgrade if you can get the money for it. All right, next I'm going to rank the Phoenixes and the Archangels. So really, really good upgrades, and you guys might be surprised by the Archangels that I don't have them higher, but the reason behind that is I actually feel like the improvement from Angel to Archangel is not as amazing as some of the other improvements. Honestly, it almost even feels like the behemoth should be higher, because the regular angel has 200 health, the archangel has 250, so it's only a 50 HP increase. It does get +10/+10 to attack and defense, and the biggest thing, well, they do get also an ability to resurrect, which is nice, but the biggest thing I would say is also the speed increase. It increases their speed by 6 to speed 18, which is going to be the second highest speed unit behind the Phoenixes. So if you do get them, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to outspeed you. So with a combination of all that, the 10/10 attack and defense, +6 speed, +50 health, even though the health improvement is not that amazing over the regular angels, and the ability to cast resurrect, I do think earns them a really solid A tier. You know, I was actually thinking about ranking them at the top first, but then I realized that the improvement in terms of health is not that great over the regular angels, which is really not so much of a detriment to the archangels, because 250 health is still solid. It's really more of a plus to the angels, because the angels are the strongest tier 7, unupgraded tier 7 unit. But if you are playing as Castle, of course, you want to get these if you have the money for it. It is awesome whenever you can actually upgrade your angels to archangels. So it's always, you know, every Castle player's wet dream when you find a bunch of Pogs, a bunch of Conses, and, you know, a couple of Utopias in your biome as well, so that you can actually have the gold to upgrade your angels to archangels. All right, as far as the Phoenixes go, Phoenixes are good. They are a bit tough to upgrade. You know, you don't normally see a power stack of Firebirds because they're just really squishy. But if you do ever get them in the late game, they can really help you win games, because the Phoenixes give the highest movement speed in the game. They're speed 21. And the Firebirds are highest unupgraded tier 7, but with the Phoenixes, it is, you know, going to be pretty much impossible for your opponent to outspeed you unless he also gets Phoenixes. You know, even if he gets Archangels, he would need +4 speed, all of the speed arties, to be able to outspeed Phoenixes. So really, this is why I have this as high as I do, is their speed. It's the highest speed unit in the game, and that can win you games. Now, they are also immune to fire, whereas the regular Firebirds are resistant by 50%, and they also get a rebirth ability, which is kind of random. I don't remember what the chance is. I think it's 20% per Phoenix that they gain a chance, like when they die, they can resurrect themselves just randomly. You know, so that's really not why I'm ranking them as high. It's really mostly their speed. They also gain +3 attack. They gain 50 health, which is, you know, not that great in terms of the stat improvement, even when you compare it to like behemoths or archangels. But again, the speed, you know, speed is king, really, and it can allow you to win even when you don't have a whole lot of army. If your opponent attacks you, you can just, you know, arm a surrender or something like that, or you can attack and first cast, you know, bring a few of these, and as long as your opponent doesn't kill one, you can cast twice and like surrender on turn 2 or something like that. So it can really help you frustrate your opponent with that speed advantage. Okay, and at the top here, I'm gonna rank the Black Dragons and the Titans. The Titans being the best one. So before you know, hate me for this and flame me for it, hear me out. So as far as the dragons go, honestly, I kind of have a soft spot for Black Dragons personally, but I do think this is a good upgrade. But this is sort of, you know, maybe I'm a little bit biased here, because when I played Heroes 3 back in the day when I was a kid, I played the Armageddon's Blade campaign, and I really liked Dungeon, and I really liked Black Dragons because of that. Now, They are really good units though, so the improvement over red dragons is pretty amazing. They're super expensive, they're really hard to build, but if you can get them, it's awesome. They get +6 to attack and defense. They gain 120 health, again highest HP in the game for upgraded tier 7 units, and they gain +4 speed, so they will be difficult to outspeed. And they become immune to all spells, right? So the only way for your opponent to harm them with magic is by having the black orb. So that is also really amazing, can help you utilize Armageddon, can help you utilize any kind of other spells and, just defend, not get hurt by your opponent's spells. And they also get another added ability, which is they hate Titans. So I think they deal... I don't remember if it's 150% or if it's double damage to Titans for hate, but it's another little thing that is kind of interesting. I'm certainly not really considering that ability that much in this ranking, but everything else, especially the magic immunity, their health, their stats, is really, really good. I had a game in the past where I ended up getting black dragons in my biome and ended up breaking maybe week 3 as dungeon because I just decided to farm 3 utopias and get black dragons. And I ended up just wrecking my opponent with basically just using Armageddon and using hit and run, hit and running him twice and then blind looping the rest of his army, because he just had 1 stack left and he literally didn't hurt me at all. I think I lost 1 black dragon in that entire thing because I had to actually lose the second hero that I Armageddoned him with. And he was so pissed that he literally ran out his entire timer after that. He had like 40 minutes left doing nothing just because he was pissed off at me winning like that, and he just made me wait, and himself of course, just because of that, but did end up surrendering eventually. So overall, I feel like a really amazing upgrade. Difficult to get, but if you can get it, then certainly it is worth it. All right, and the Titans. So the Titan upgrade, I definitely feel like is the best one, the best tier 7 upgrade in the game, because it just makes the units ridiculous. And while the Titans may not necessarily be the best upgraded tier 7 on this list, they are the best improvement, I feel like, over the unupgraded version. So the improvement is +5 to attack, +8 to defense, and double the health. So the Giants have 150 health, Titans have 300, which is the highest upgraded tier 7 health in the game once again. So it's the Titans, Black Dragons, the Ancient Behemoths, and the Haspids that have 300 health. And they become ranged. So ranged Titans are, definitely much better than the regular Giants. They also gain +4 speed, so speed 11. So not amazing speed, but still really good when it's a ranged unit. And as an added bonus, they're a ranged unit that has a no melee penalty ability as well. So when you close the gap, they're really a pain in the ass to fight because, usually you want to counter ranged units by closing the gap. When you close the gap with these guys, they actually deal more damage to you than they would with a broken arrow, right? So definitely a pain in the ass to deal with, and, really nice to have. Awesome if you can get them. Definitely expensive, cost a lot of gems to get an upgrade, also a lot of money, but if you can get them, then you definitely want to. If you also, I would say this is like the second best next to the archangels, where, in terms of wanting utopias and cloud temples in your biome. I think it's a little bit stronger for castle, but for just because the archangels have a bit of a better ability to farm the map, and they're faster. But still, if you can get Titans and if you can biome game as tower to gain Titans, that is still really, really good. And I have certainly won games like that as well. So I definitely feel like it's the best upgrade for tier 7 units, the best improvement over the regular giants. Like, if I had to rank the actual units, I would say the archangels are better than the Titans, but I just feel like the improvement of Angel to Archangel is much less than the improvement of Giant to Titan. And of course, they also do gain the ability to hate Black Dragons, which gives them additional damage to do versus them. Not the most amazing ability, of course, but still, you know, something that is interesting. Like, it can help you in Utopias, it can help you if your opponent is dungeon and he gets Black Dragons, it can help you if you're fighting Black Dragons, but certainly not much of a consideration for this ranking. So it's everything else that I really consider, and namely, that is just a huge improvement in terms of health, stats, and making them ranged units. Alright guys, well that is it for this tier list. That wraps up the upgrades tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and as always, check out the Twitch stream, link in the description below, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.